Honestly, I think like if you are in software, 90% of the cases, if you are not in deep tech, you can bootstrap and you should bootstrap, right? Because you need to go there and make the work for yourself, right?
For sure.
And then it's so easy to get investment since you have those proofs, right?
Yeah, the numbers.
The numbers.
Real people, real stories, and real challenges that break the status quo. I'm your host, Živile, and welcome to Perception Paradox. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Perception Paradox, and today we're tuning in again from Helsinki Slush directly. Day 2. Things are buzzing here, a lot of snow, a lot of good vibes, great people, energy. And today I have with me George, who is joining here in Slush. How are you today?
I'm very good. Like Slush is way bigger than I thought. It's a huge event. It's my first time. It's my first time in Slush and my first time in Finland.
Okay, how is it so far?
It's been very good. In fact, I can tell you that I just got engaged in Finland.
No way.
Yeah. Thank you.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. So basically, I'm here for the Google for startups. They invited us. We are part of the AI for Cybersecurity cohort. When they told me to come, I just decided, okay, let me bring my girlfriend. It's snowy.
Was it snowy?
We like snow, yeah. We went to Rovaniemi first, Lapland.
That's epic.
Yeah, I proposed her there in the waterfalls, the frozen waterfalls.
Okay, and she said yes?
She said yes.
Okay, good. Otherwise, I would be quite cold.
I'm quite relieved.
Nice. So next Slush side event, your wedding?
We don't have a side event, but we could try to make one just for founders. Yeah.
Okay, why not? Could be like a wedding reception, for founders, founders to founders.
Yeah, maybe next year.
Yeah, okay, we can think about that. We can do some collab. Anyway, okay, so what brought you to Slush? You are building the company related to ethical hacking, right?
Yeah, so basically Ethiack is we do autonomous ethical hacking. So we are hackers, we hack companies for good. So the idea is we find vulnerabilities in your software, in applications, in your website, so that you know these vulnerabilities before attackers, right? So that allows you to prevent cyber attacks beforehand, be one step ahead of these hackers, the criminal hackers. Yeah.
All right, okay. So you're a hacker?
I'm not a hacker, in fact. I am an entrepreneur. My co-founder is one of the best ethical hackers in the world. The guy.
Oh, really?
In fact, the guy won 2 times the most valuable hacker in the world.
How did you meet, guys?
We are friends since like childhood, since like 3 years old. So,
cool, that's a good match. A hacker and an entrepreneur.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an aerospace engineer. In fact, my first startup was in space called Spaceway.
Okay.
So basically did IoT offline gateways for remote locations. So imagine that you are trying to connect in a location without Wi-Fi. How can you push data into the cloud? You can't, right? Because you don't have internet. So basically we were connecting with Elon Musk satellites and basically relaying data to...
Oh, really?
Yeah, I sold the technology and Andre started doing a lot of security testing in companies, and we came up with a product together, and we are now entrepreneurs together.
How long have you been building it?
So the company started in March 2022.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are now crossing 1 million ARR, so it's growing like very fast.
Well done.
And until now, mostly bootstrapping.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just came here now to get some clients to Slush and position yourself, right? Not to fundraise.
Yeah, not to fundraise. We are not looking for investors here. It was like I was telling you, like we came without expectations. Was part of Google. Google invited us. It has been very nice to be with them here. And mostly like I have been getting to know like the Nordics market, because we are expanding, and Nordics is a very interesting market for us. Like Russian usually like to attack Nordic companies.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what are the percentages of the daily attacks to the companies? Would you have some numbers to share?
Yeah. I can tell you like nowadays you have 80 new CVEs per day. Okay, what is a CVE? A CVE is a common vulnerability exposure. So these are vulnerabilities in common software, right? So for example, use Google, use Amazon, use Shopify, whatever. So we need to understand that nowadays we are digital connected, right? So it's like a big supply chain digitally. So imagine that you are integrated with the enterprise. If you have vulnerabilities as a startup, maybe you are opening a door in the enterprise itself. So if you have 80 new vulnerabilities per day, how can you really think that you can do one test per year or whatever, right? Like usually the norm is you do one pen test a year. But it's not enough because you need to know these vulnerabilities before attackers. Why? Because with AI is very good, right? But AI is also available for the bad guys. So what happens now is sometimes startups tell me, oh, we are very small to be attacked, right? Attacks don't work like that, right? Like what they are doing is like they are attacking companies in scale. So if basically there is a new vulnerability today, they just automatize it and they start like attacking everyone in scale. And when they get the attack succeeded, they will see who are you. So basically, if you want to sell more to enterprises, if you want to stay compliant, if you want to stay secure, you basically need to test more.
Okay.
That's the idea.
It's like that.
Yeah.
Just like that. All right. That's pretty exciting. So where do you think we will need more and more security in the upcoming years?
Yeah, of course. Like this is like we have more technology. We're 80 new vulnerabilities per day. Attack surfaces, which like it's basically your digital infrastructure is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we are more connected, right? So you need to do more to get secure, right? And what's happening is all the legislation of and regulation of Europe is pushing companies to do that. You have CRA, which like the Resilience Act. You have NIS2, which is like the new cybersecurity legislation of Europe to secure more companies, and all that are pushing laws basically for companies, startups, technology, even critical infrastructure to get more tested because they need to get secure. If you are not secure, it can happen really bad things, right? If we are all connected and if we are all depending on technology, a vulnerability in a technology can even put lives in danger, right? There was like this attack on Barcelona hospitals like last year that they didn't operate for like 2 days. Imagine.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cybersecurity is a new world, right?
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. But talking a bit about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah,
so you're already it's not your first rodeo with the startup, right?
Yeah.
So you had some experience. So what's different right now when you're building already the company? What is your second startup, third startup?
It's my second.
It's your second. So what have you learned so far during the first one that made it easier for you to kick off the second one?
I think the biggest lesson is I'm an engineer, right? So we engineers tend to believe that technology is everything and it's the hard part, and it's not. Like the marketing and growth sales are way harder than technology. I like to say that people are the hard thing, right? Like it's not the tech part. Like you can build amazing products, but if you don't sell, and that was my biggest failure in my first startup, is that I focused too much on getting a technology, and I didn't focus a lot on sales. And here at Ethiack, I'm doing exactly the opposite. So I'm pushing technology to be fast, even if we have fails there, bugs, whatever. I just want to do product market fit, and I want to have clients in the beginning, because clients help you building the stuff, right? Like we engineers want to develop what we want, and we forget that it's not what we want, it's what they want, right? So that's the biggest lesson.
Wow, that's a big shift. Well done. Do you have any commercial person working with you, or you're now the one who is doing that part?
Until now, I've been doing sales by myself, but we just hired in the April our first sales guy. It was the third one that I hired. That hiring is also a big lesson that I have been learning a lot. But this time is working really good. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well done. So what keeps you going? Because, entrepreneurship is very like a roller coaster, right? Some days are better, some days are more challenging. Sometimes you have more bugs, sometimes less.
Completely roller coaster. So basically, I think what keeps me going is I really have the mission of helping people, right? And helping people, helping companies. Like, how do you make the world better? and it's way more simple if you are basically building stuff and even receiving no's, but you are going in a certain way. So you are like experimenting, trying, then to just join a corporate, and you are just doing what they want you to do, right? So that's the idea and the mission behind Ethiack, and why it pushes me Ethiack is because you are really trying to secure technology. You are securing lives, you are securing operations, you are securing people that depend on technology, and that excites me. Like, you want them to be well.
Okay, that's pretty cool. What else excites you in life besides engineering and startups?
So there is two things. The first one is family. I really think that family is why we are here in the world, right? Like, you take care of people that are close to you, like as others took care of you. And I couldn't be grateful for my family for what I am today, right? And the second thing is sports. Like, I really like martial arts, so I did karate for a long time, doing box, kickbox, now sporadically, not so much as I wanted, but yeah, and adventure. Like, you need to go hiking, you need to do surf, you need to do everything that excites you and pushes you out of the limits. It's what I live for. Yeah.
So now, talking about life and excitement and adventures and how much time you spend for the things you like, besides work, how much time do you actually spend building a startup? Is it really 24/7, or you kind of now found a bit more balance, or it's about the speed?
I mean, it's in the beginning it's 24/7, and if you are first-time founders, it's completely 24/7. It's about the work that you do. I think when you start building a team and you trust the team and the team works for the best of the company, like, you need, and that's also a challenge, you need to let them work and let them be themselves, right? And I think for that, like, you start having some time, but one of the lessons that I also learned is it doesn't matter if you work like 24/7, because sometimes 2 hours or 3 hours are way better and more productive than 24/7. So you need just focus. Yeah,
for sure. Focus is important, and I would say important. You know what is sleep.
Sleep is so good. I love sleep. I'm sleeping with snow here. It's amazing. Like, you just wake up and open the window, it's snowing. I don't have snow in Portugal, right?
Yeah. That's where you're based? You're based in Portugal?
Yeah, I'm based in Portugal, Coimbra. It's a small city in Portugal, right in the middle between Lisbon and Porto.
Oh, okay.
So there is a lot of companies and a lot of startups that come from there.
Oh, really?
Unicorns, yeah, it's a very university city. It's nice. It's like you are near the beach. It's sunny. You have good food, good wine, right? Yeah, it's amazing.
What else do you need? I was actually in Portugal last week.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Where?
for Web Summit. I was mainly I was staying in Lisbon for a few weeks.
Did you enjoy Lisbon?
I do. I come back every year, so I like it. All my local friends and international friends based in Lisbon, they were like, "So when are you moving to Lisbon?" I was like, "I don't know. Let's see. Give me a moment. I need to think." I will see. You
amazing country.
It is quite nice. All right. So what do you like? So maybe let's go back a bit into you saying before about understanding the essence of commercialization, the essence of sales, not only focus on the product. What kind of value do you see of tech events, and are you an often guest in the tech events or not?
Tech events are amazing, right? Like, you put technology in the front of people, and what I enjoy more in technology events is going around all the startup booths, because there is amazing technology and amazing ideas that people do. So it's very interesting. I think it's like, I am a guest usually in tech events. I think they are great. Honestly, I prefer with less people, right? Because when you have things like Slush and Web Summit, like, it's
massive.
So it's massive. Like, it's too much. Like, you feel like overwhelmed, right? So for me, I prefer events that, like, the side events, right? Like, when you can really network with people. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. And do you see the value of a community?
Of course, yeah. Like, we have a big community in Ethiack because we depend on hackers, right? So we work with freelancing with hackers that basically build modules for us. okay, or they test companies.
Oh, really?
By itself. Yeah. So the model is simple, right? It's a SaaS, but crowd-based. So the idea is we have a machine, what we call it, artificial hacker, that is 24/7 testing and hacking organizations, and can do what 80% of the job of the human, right? But that's 20% that is creativity, and the more AI is like creative or whatever, but that 20%, like, you need to be really creative to find these critical bugs, like the bugs that no one finds, right? And what we do there is like we work with now is like a community of 50 vetted hackers that they work like everywhere in the world, and they just hack on top of the machine. So for us, the community has been very helpful in having freelancers to hack, but mostly because these hackers usually work at big corporates or at companies, so they kind of also are our champions inside our clients, right? Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Insiders.
Yeah, and then the community just shares the word, right?
Yeah,
like they
yeah.
pass the word, and these guys are good, and it's so much easier to sell if you are basically loved by the community than you're just
For
trying
sure.
to do direct sales. Yeah,
Yeah, I find the community really the essence and the kind of key of
completely.
anything you do. Basically, you need people around you,
You need
and
people.
you need believers, right? So, what's your big vision with our company you're building?
The
Your-
big vision. It's basically what we want is to prevent attacks in bigger scale, right? Like we want to be able to secure technology, and we want to be a global company. We want to be able to secure every company, even if they don't have the big pockets to pay ethical hacking.
Yeah.
We want to have software that is able to protect them and to secure them. Yeah.
Awesome, epic, good mission. Talking about your first startup, did you bootstrap or fundraise?
My first one?
The first one, yeah.
First one we bootstrapped. We worked a lot with the European Space Agency, so we had like funds on that. Yeah, it was that. And then I sold the technology, basically because we started Ethiack.
Nice.
Space is very hard.
Also
And
competitive,
hardware
no?
is hard mode.
Yeah.
Hardware is completely the level of difficulty. Yeah.
What's the most difficult part about that was?
For hardware, it's like hardware, like it's not software. Like software, you build software and it does what you tell them to do. But hardware doesn't do what you want them to do. Like if it's raining, it will behave differently. If it's like it can always change the behavior. So like there are some bugs that you think that they are like they are not supposed to be there, but they are there, right? Hardware is very difficult.
All right, but so tell us, what's the journey of a bootstrapping founder?
Bootstrap founders, I think, like the community is growing bigger now. We are not bootstrap anymore, just at Ethiack, because we really, since we had product market fit, we are growing. And we are now entering in an AI journey for hacking. We are developing what we call the hackbot, which is a LLM-powered machine for hacking. We needed some investment, right? So we are not bootstrapped anymore, but the beginning was mostly bootstrapped. And I like bootstrapping because basically you have skin in the game, way more skin in the game than you are if you are VC funded, right? Because you are there, you learn more, you do things by yourself, and honestly, I think like if you are in software, 90% of the cases, if you are not in deep tech, you can bootstrap and you should bootstrap, right? Because you need to go there and make the work for yourself, right?
For sure.
And then it's so easy to get investment since you have those proofs, right?
Yeah, the numbers.
The numbers.
Numbers are the key, right? All right, so look, George.
Yeah.
I have this thing, tradition that happening in this fall. I have those cards, and each of them has a question.
Okay.
So I would like to draw one, and let's see what the universe brings. Yeah.
So what's your biggest life goal, and how are you working towards it?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, that's a nice one, yeah. I think my biggest life goal is to have like a family of entrepreneurs, right? Like a community of entrepreneurs, like to be able to invest, but mostly to help entrepreneurs to go faster, right? So I see myself as an angel investor, like in some years from now, mostly going and do the work with them more than just putting the money, right? And I think that's all about, like, that should be all about investing, not the money, but like what we call smart money, right?
Yeah.
Like, well, like people with experience should help you. Yeah, and if possible, I wanted to have a family, like kids, doing entrepreneurship with me. Yeah.
So I've realized, like, everything about entrepreneurship, basically. Amazing, great, but it's leading by example, right? So
Exactly.
usually,
Yeah.
sometimes it happens, sometimes not, but all right. So I have a small tradition that at the end of the episode, I like my guests to leave the audience with a question to ponder through a day. What would be your question to the audience?
My question is, are you sure that your software and your technology is just helping, or do you have vulnerabilities that you are putting in your companies and your clients? Like, why don't you test it?
Okay, so that's a question for you guys, anyone who is building something. That was George from Ethiack.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, finally I learned how to pronounce it. Thank you so much for joining in this busy day and finding time for Perception Paradox and for sharing your
Thank you so much for having
journey
me.
briefly.
Yeah.
It was really
It
great
was really
having you
nice.
here. Nice meeting
Thank you
you.
so much.
And congrats on your wedding.
Thank you so much.
And proposal. Thank you.
That's it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.